Well, hey, Valley Creek leaders. I'm so glad I get to share this leader talk with you. And Pastor Jason and Pastor Becca had made it look so cool doing it outside. I thought I'd give that a try too. But I may get stung by a bee or something out here, so this may never happen again. But hey, there's something really interesting in this kind of coronavirus season that I really wanted to share. And it's kind of the great opportunity that we have had given the quarantines and the social distancing and the lack of activities and social opportunities, has been this opportunity to self-reflect, to really kind of look inward and, ask ourselves questions like, how am I? And who am I? What do I need to let go of? What am I valuing? What maybe do I need to change, or where do I need to grow? There's just been a lot of opportunity to really look inward. And that's great. I mean, it's fantastic when we get to take advantage of something like that and really pursue that, and it can lead to us being a much healthier person and a much freer person. But there's also a danger, really an unintended consequence, if you look inward at self for too long, and that is we become really more of self-focused and selfish instead of being Jesus-focused and selfless. And so I really kind of wanted to share something really quickly about just when you're looking inward and you're looking at self, is to always do that through a focus on Jesus and for the mission of Jesus. Like, keeping those two parameters in place will really help you do two things. It helps you see yourself the way that Jesus sees you, doing things through a Jesus focus. So really allowing Jesus to answer those questions and not circumstances or society, not your failures or misses, not your successes and your accomplishments, but really let Jesus answer those questions of, who are you, and where might you need to grow, and what might you need to change, and what might you need to let go of, what are you valuing? Just inviting Jesus into that, and Jesus focused on that changes everything. And then when we think about for his mission, it helps you see what Jesus is seeing, which is other people. I mean, the mission of Jesus is others. So he's not going to have you focus on you. He's going to help you focus on others, because Jesus is always looking at others who need to receive the Father's love, at others who are lost and need help finding a way back home, at others who are broken and hurting and hopeless and wandering around that need to have an encounter with grace. That's who Jesus is always looking for. That's his mission. And so if you've been, reading books and doing self-reflection and you're getting discouraged or you're beating yourself up, you probably are doing a little too much self-focus, and you need to do a little more Jesus focus. Or if you've been discovering and learning all kinds of things, but you're finding yourself getting, easily frustrated with people, or maybe you're withdrawing, there's probably some mission drift. And you're probably forgetting that the healthiest version of you isn't just for you, that it's for them. It's for everybody that Jesus wants us to go and focus on. And so as valuable as this self-reflection time has been, and the opportunities that it's had, in this leader talk, I really wanted to encourage all of us to shift our focus a little more off of us and a little more onto them in this season. And, I realize that it can sound kind of ridiculous to tell leaders to look less at self and more at others, when really that's what leading is all about. Leading is all about others, serving others and focusing on others. And that's, if you're like me, that's easy when you're healthy, to focus on others, when you're spiritually healthy and emotionally and physically. It's really easy, but when you're not as healthy physically or spiritually or emotionally, it's a lot easier to make leading about me, to make it about yourself. And I know I've experienced that temptation in this season, to be much more self-focused and about me than Jesus-focused and about them. And so, this Sunday's Mother's Day service, I thought it was really appropriate for leaders, because the mom lens is so similar to the leader lens. I mean, moms are always having to be aware of others. They're always serving others, and they're usually getting overlooked and underappreciated, and they're rarely getting the opportunity to do things like self-reflect. And so, the mom word and the leader word, really, those can be very interchangeable. And so there was a lot I felt like could be pulled out of it. And the one I really wanted to focus in on was what we kicked off with, that Pastor Becca shared, that life is a series of seasons. And she nailed it on parenting. That parenting is all about seasons, and seasons are all about change and periods of time. And that just when you think you've started to get parenting figured out, that, the season changes and the time is up. You're like, I was just turning into like a decent parent. I thought my kids were going to turn out okay. And then, the season changed. You got to learn how to parent all over again. But just how you can't parent your kid the same in every single stage and phase of their life. We can't lead people the same in every stage and phase of life. And so, the healthy parent learns to adjust the seasons to parent their kid, and they change their parenting along the way. And a healthy leader does the same thing. Because just like in seasons of change for parenting, there are seasons of change in leading. Some are busier and some are slower. Some are easier and some are harder. Some are interesting and some are kind of monotonous. And some are comfortable and some are very uncertain and they're uncomfortable. And, like going into this season, you may have felt really confident about your leadership and how you were going to approach things and how you're going to lead people, and thinking, I've got leading figured out. And then this season hit, and it kind of caused you to question everything. I got to learn leading all over again. And most likely you've been adjusting, and some things have probably been easier than others to adjust to. And you've carved out some new grooves and you found some new leading, and maybe you're feeling that way again. Like, hey, I've got leading dialed in, got this figured out. Like my teams they're going to be okay. And now the season's changing again. I mean, the summer is coming, the school year's ending. There's shifting in society of things that are beginning to change in this season. And so change is coming again. And so the invitation is coming again to really adjust and to change the way we're leading in a new season, just like you would change the way that you would parent in a new season. But instead of getting all knotted up about that, Philippians 4:6 says, don't be anxious about anything, but through prayer and supplications, make your requests known to God. So what if instead of getting stressed and worried or checking out, what if we focus on Jesus and see what does he have to say, and we actually make our requests known to him? So here's some questions that I'd love to put out to you. That what if we just asked these questions of Jesus, and just, it's really a great version of what prayer is. It's, ask him questions, make your request known. Things like, Jesus, so who do you say that I am? And Jesus, what area do I need to open up to you? Jesus, where are you inviting me to change? Those are great areas to allow Jesus into and have his focus on who you are and what he's doing. But then maybe start to shift and ask Jesus, hey, Jesus, who have you entrusted to me? And let him start reminding you of really who are the people that he's entrusted with you? Who are the people that he's connected your life with? Because remember, like when seasons change, it doesn't just change for the parent, it changes for the kids, and they all react differently. And so the same thing is happening for the people that you lead. As the season is changing, it's not just changing for you, it's changing for them. And some of them are loving it, and some of them are hating it. Some of them can't wait for this to be over, and some of them are dreading that it's ending. But John 20:21, Jesus says, hey, peace be with you. As the Father sent me, I am sending you. And so Jesus is sending you into their lives with peace. He's sending you prepared, just as the Father sent him to us. And so here's another set of questions that I would invite you to actually take to the people that you serve, the people that you lead, the people in your groups. It's like, hey, how can I lead you differently or better in this season? Actually asking them that. Or, hey, what do you need from me right now? Because maybe what you've been providing them up to now, it's not what they need going forward. Or maybe asking them, hey, is there an area that you're struggling in right now? Is there an area you're having difficulty with that I could help you? Actually just opening up to them and remembering that that's what we're here for. We're here for that mission, to serve them, to love them, to share the grace and the hope of Jesus with them. And that's how we continue to lean in and lead small and love weekly. We lean in by asking Jesus, hey, what do you have to say? We lead small by asking people those questions like, hey, how can I lead you? And we love weekly by connecting with them each and every week. So as the season keeps changing, let's change with it, but let's do that with a focus through Jesus and for the mission of Jesus. And hey, if you haven't jumped on to the Valley Creek Later Facebook yet, man, I'd encourage you to jump on there, just search for it, Valley Creek Leaders on Facebook, and join that group, or ask your staff leader to send you the link. And then if you've got any question, always remember you can email leaders@valleycreek.org, and we'd love to answer any questions that you have. But hey, thanks for joining me for this. We love you guys. We're grateful for you. We're proud of you. We couldn't do it without you.